about your forthcoming academic or board examinations. Now today I have to discuss before you a very significant issue of your weatheric or climatic phenomena. Arrangement of layers of air masses over the earth surface, or the composition and structure of the atmosphere. My dear students, you have to know that the first layer of air mass over the earth surface is known as troposphere, troposphere having altitude of 10 kilometer, average 10 kilometer, average 10 kilometer. In equator area it has altitude of 18 kilometer, altitude of 18 kilometer in equatorial area, or 8 to 13 kilometer in polar areas, equatorial area. So my dear students, here I stood before you to make you more clear about the composition structure of atmosphere. First layer of atmosphere adjacent to earth surface having altitude of 10 kilometer, having altitude of 10 kilometer average. Accurate altitude of this layer may be recognized as altitude of 18 kilometer over equatorial area and 8 to 13 kilometer in polar area. The major feature of this layer, which is known as troposphere, is the weatheric or climatic phenomena, formation of cloud, fog, precipitations. ये सारा जो फिनोमिना है वो इसी लेयर में होता है, और प्रेजेंस ऑफ आस, गैस, डस्ट, third major feature of this layer may be recognized as 90% of total air mass is found within this layer, or the level of temperature. Decreasing pattern of temperature level as you go with higher altitude. 1 degree centigrade temperature decreases as you go higher 165 meter. It means decreasement in temperature at the rate of 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer is found in this air. 1 degree decreasement हो रहा है पर 165 मीटर पर, इसी को आप कह सकते हैं 8 डिग्री सेल्सियस सेंटीग्रेड टेम्परेचर डिक्रीज कर रहा है 1 किलोमीटर अल्टीट्यूड पर. तो इट इज द मेजर फीचर ऑफ दिस फर्स्ट layer of atmosphere adjacent to earth surface known as troposphere. Second layer known as stratosphere. Second layer known as stratosphere. You can see here increasing level of temperature. Increasing level of temperature. यहाँ आपने देखा था decreasing layer of temperature. Presence of ozone is the most important feature of this layer that extends from 10 kilometer to 50 kilometer, having thickness of 40 kilometer. Or due to presence of ozone, this layer has a specific phenomena, the absorption of infrared insolation from the sun. So this layer may be considered as a shield or a deterrent over the living nature of the earth, which is the unique feature of earth surface or its first phase of atmospheric layer, troposphere. So here you should be clear. Presence of ozone within the second layer of atmosphere known as stratosphere, which extends from 10 to 50 kilometer altitude, having feature of absorption of infrared insolation from the sun that ensure the existence of life under this cover, because it has been safeguarded by the harmful rays of sun. Now you have to know about the third feature that extends from 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer, having thickness of 30 kilometer, known as Mesosphere. Once again you can trace the decreasing pattern of temperature in this atmospheric layer, and one can find minus 100 degrees Celsius state of temperature at the boundary of Mesosphere, 80 kilometer above from the earth surface. The temperature goes 100 डिग्री माइनस सेल्सियस के लेवल पर. तो इट इज द थर्ड फेज और द थर्ड लेयर ऑफ एटमोस्फियर over the earth surface, known as mesosphere, extends from 50 to 80 kilometer, Here you can trace once again the decreasing nature of temperature. One can find minus 100 degrees Celsius at the top of this atmospheric layer, that is known as Mesosphere. After this air, above the Mesosphere lies Thermosphere. Thermosphere. It extends from Thermosphere. It extends from 80 kilometer to 400 kilometer. Or the prominent feature of this layer can be recognized as presence of ions, so it is also known as ionosphere. Ionosphere. Because the basic feature or characteristics of this layer is absorption of X-ray and ultraviolet ray. Absorption of X-ray and ultraviolet rays by the gaseous molecule of this layer produce ions, means negatively or positively charged gaseous molecule. Or due to absorption of ultraviolet and X-ray, this layer has also trend of increasement in its temperature level with higher altitude. My dear students, here you must be clear about the areas where one layer ends and another initiates. The submerging level of Troposphere and Stratosphere is known as Tropopause. Tropopause, such as the submergence area of Stratosphere and Mesosphere at the level of 50 kilometer above from the Earth's surface is known as Stratopause. Or at the height of 80 kilometer, the layer of atmosphere can be recognized as the submergence of Mesosphere and Thermosphere is known as Mesopause, or the fourth layer that is known as Thermosphere, that extends up to 400 kilometers from the Earth's surface. After this layer, the other air masses is known as sphere. It goes up to 950 kilometer, or there is a little knowledge about this sphere. So you have to be clear about the major features of these 4 layers of atmosphere. First is troposphere, extends up to 10 kilometer from the Earth's surface. It is the average altitude. Specifically, it lies up to 18 kilometer in equatorial area and 8 to 13 kilometer in polar areas. Second, stratosphere extends between 10 to 50 kilometer. Third, mesosphere extends from 50 to 80 kilometer or 80 to 400 kilometer. The fourth layer of atmosphere is known as thermosphere. Above this layer, the air mass is known as exosphere. You have to note a basic feature of this whole arrangement. 90% of the air mass, 90% of the air mass lies within the layer of troposphere, that is limited within the average altitude of 10 km from the Earth's surface. Next, you have to know that the submergence boundary of the 2 different air masses or layers, Tropopause, Stratopause, Mesopause and Thermopause. Here you can notice another phenomena. Here you can notice another feature of stratosphere. It is considered most suitable atmospheric layer for flying because here is no weatheric phenomena or the problem of clouds, so it is ideal for flying. Next, you can describe the major feature of mesosphere. As once again the decreasing nature of temperature that goes up to minus 100 degree at its top, or the fourth layer known as thermosphere extends between 80 kilometer to 400 kilometer from the Earth's surface, has a unique nature that the gaseous molecule present in this layer absorb X-ray and ultraviolet rays insolation from the sun, or due to this process of absorption, this layer also has increasing pattern in its temperature level. So my dear student, here is the complete information about this blanket of atmosphere over the Earth surface. I hope that you should be clear about the composition and structure of the atmospheric layer that make you enable to understand the whole phenomena of weather and climate. So you have to be conscious and learn these things intimately. Many thanks to you for being with us. That's all. Thank you so much.